Hey everyone, today we'll be working with React Native and we will be creating a bottom sheet, which is simple to do and is based on the modal component of React Native. Okay, so let's start. First, let me create a safe area view here where we can start by creating our screen, right? So style.styles.screen. And here I want to create a button so that we can toggle our bottom sheet. So toggle bottom sheet. So this will be the thing that will toggle it. And then on press, we also want to call change some state. So let's where we will define or save if it's open or not. So open bottom sheet, set open bottom sheet, where we will save our state and we will start by using false. And here we can import, and here we can say set open bottom sheet to false. No, sorry, to let's negate the open bottom sheet. So if it's open, we close it. If it's closed, we just open it. Okay, cool. So now we can add here the screen styles, where we will say flex 1. And let's make a background color of white. And now I want to add some text. So the idea being that we want to simulate that we have some screen. So let's say some text to test bottom sheet, and then we can just do a couple of them. Okay, and then we want to style it. So I want to say style and then styles.text. So here we can create some text and do like color black, for example. And after, I want also to add my bottom sheet. For now, we didn't create it, so we don't have it now, but let's add some text, a view first. So one children, and then here some text. So on this text, I want to also do component 1, because the bottom sheet could be composed of multiple components. So let's say that we also add a couple of them. And let's see, like component 2, component 3, component 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then here we could also apply the same style. So styles dot text, that should be it. And now I also need to add the view here, and the bottom sheet we need to create it. So for now, I know that I can pass a visible, because we will base our bottom sheet on the modal component of React Native. So let's also use visible, because modal also uses visible. And here I can say, okay, open bottom sheet, the visible. So it will be visible if the open bottom sheet is true. It will be not visible if the the bottom sheet is not open bottom sheet is false. So here I want also on the on close, I want also to set the open bottom sheet to false because I want to close it when there's an on close on the bottom sheet itself. So that should be it for now. And that's it. So now we want to create the bottom sheet component. So I can create a folder named app, and then inside that app, I will create a file called bottomsheet.tsx. And as usual, I will copy this, paste it here, and just say this one is the bottom sheet. And then we need to, bottom sheet. And all of these can go. And these styles also can go. But this one needs to get the bottom sheet. And we also need to create an interface where we receive the props. So props. And here we know visible for sure. So this one will be a boolean and we always need it. And the on close, which will be a function which we also need to define and pass to the bottom sheet component. So this one can go away. And now I can destructure the props. So I know that I have the visible and I have the on close, and these two come from the props, which I will inject here. So props, then bottom sheet props. Cool. So this one was not there yet. We have the styles, which are not used now, but yeah, these probably we will use. Not the button, the text probably not, the view we will, Safari view we will not, and the use state I think we will also not use. So we have the props, and now I know that I want to base it on the model. So that's our challenge here, so to say. So the visible we know already, so we pass the visible, that's it. Then we know that there's animation type on these, which are two of them, I think. So you have fade, none, or slide. And we will use slide because bottom sheet slide from bottom to top. So we will use that. And then we need also to set up the transparent to true. So this is the model part. So now this model will give us the behavior of scrolling from bottom to top, and I need to have some mechanism to slide down on the model and be able to close it, so slide from top to bottom. And for that, I will use a package which we can install called React Native swipe gestures. If we install that, we will be able to use a component which gives us that functionality for free, which is the gesture recognizer. So I can, from React Native swipe gestures, import it. And then I can say on bottom swipe down, I think. On swipe down, yeah. So on swipe down, we want to, when we detect the swipe down on the bottom sheet, we want to say on close, right? We want to say, okay, now you can close the model. So that's what we will use there. Okay, so now inside that one, I want to create a touchable without feedback. And this one touchable will use an on press, and this on press will call also the on close, because here we are outside our bottom sheet. We are just outside it, and we want to, if you go out of it, then you click and then the bottom sheet closes. So that's why we want this one there. Without feedback, because we don't want any opacity or highlight in this one. We just want to get the event. After that, we will create a view. And inside this view, we will have two things. One view, which will be our dummy view. And this one is the one we want to kind of give a background, a black background, so that we have this nice layer on overlay on top of the other screens. So I will call it styles. Let me give it styles.dummy, because this is a dummy view just to grow as much as it can. So basically this one will grow as much as it can, and then the others on the bottom sheet itself will grow taking in consideration the content. So in that way we have a dynamic bottom sheet, because you can add more content and then it will grow, and this one will shrink. So then yeah, we have the nice behavior. So after, we want also another touchable without feedback, but this time we want we don't want to specify anything. So I want, because here we are inside the bottom sheet, right? The part of the bottom sheet, so to say, that is the one where we will show the content. So yeah, and here we are kind of saying, okay, every event doesn't matter, but it will not bubble up. So this one event stays in here, so it will not be pressing the on close, because there's this without feedback here. And if you click outside it, then this one will be the one picking the event, and then you actually close it. So now I have one view, which will be the main view of the bottom sheet. And then there are two things. One is two views to do the handler. So here we can already give some style, just to do not forget, like styles. Then here we can say handler wrapper. The handler will be this little dash centered, so that we can yeah, kind of say to the user, slide me down so you can close the bottom sheet. And here the styles.handler itself will be here. And so this one will be the handler. And here we will have another view where we will inject the children. So the children will be the content of the bottom sheet, which you are passing in here. So these will be the children. So now in the props, we need to also specify the children. Obviously, you could say that this is optional. And then here you should say React node, so that you can get children, and then children here, and then you just yeah, add the children on this view. Okay, cool. So here I can also give some styles so that we don't forget. Styles children. And here I know that this one will be the styles dot bottom sheet content, right? The whole content is in here. Then we know that these ones will be the styles dot bottom sheet. And here we know that we have the styles dot model, which are basically these two combined, more or less. So let's give it some style. So on the model, I would say flex 1. Oops, flex 1. On the bottom sheet, bottom sheet, we also want a flex 1. So everything grows right till here. Then on the dummy, we want we want flex 1 also, because this one needs to grow as much as it can. But of course, the bottom sheet content will be growing, taking in consideration the children, so the content. So now we have the bottom sheet content, and here I want to give it some padding vertical, which we can say, yeah, let's say 16, padding horizontal, let's say 32. Then we could give some border radius, because yeah, we want some round corners. So let's say border radius on the border top, border left color with top left radius. Cool, that's it. So let's say 50, and border top right radius also 50, for example. And in here we are good, some padding, some borders, and we can also give some background color, so just to yeah, some white. And now we have the handler wrapper. So I want to, basically the handler wrapper is just there so that we can align it. So I will say align items to the center. And then we will have the handler. So we want some width. So let's say 50. Some height, we can say like 5 or so. Some border radius. So here we can say, yeah, let's give it 15 or something. And some background color, which we can say black. On the handler bar, we know we can also say flex 1. And now we want to import it to see what do we have so far. So we import the bottom sheet. Now if we save, we should see something. Okay, cool. So let's try to digest this a bit. So here we have the button to toggle the bottom sheet that comes from the bottom to the top. Then we have some text to test the bottom sheet itself to see if it goes on top of this. So now if I toggle it, cool. We have a bottom sheet that goes from here till the top, and here the same more or less. If I slide down, not this. If I slide down, the bottom sheet goes down. If I slide down, not this one. If I slide down, then it goes down. Cool. Okay, so taking a look into these, I spotted here a little bug. So there's styles instead of style. And then children, we didn't do anything for children, so let's add here. So I don't know if we will need it, but let's take a little, just define it here. And now there are no errors anymore. So let's take a look again. If I toggle it, you see now that this one goes just a bit high. So it just contains your components on the bottom sheet. Then the rest is the flex one on the dummy view, right? In here, the same thing happens. So that's cool. Now, the thing is, we don't notice this too much because the white don't help us. So what we can do is create here a view which will be our overlay. So let's styles.overlay. And this view will be only there if we are showing our bottom sheet. So let's say open bottom sheet and view, right? So if it's open, then show this view. And now we need to style this overlay and say, let's say background color, we should say black, right? And now I will give some opacity. And on this one, I will give 0.3 or something like that. Then I know that I can display these as not display, position it absolute. So position, yes, absolute. And then I can say top 0. So we will stretch that view. Top 0, bottom 0, right 0, right 0, and left 0, right? So now we are stretching it. And if I take a look into it, I see now this difference. So now everything underneath the overlay will be kind of blurred out, blacked out, or something like that. And the bottom sheet is more noticeable, right? You see now the borders. Of course, you can maybe lower a little bit the borders on it. So if I go to the handler, the border radius could be just 5 or so. Yep, a little bit better or not. No, this is the handler, so I'm messing up here. Not this one. This one seems correct. What we want to change is this one. So instead of 50, let's put 15. So if I take a look now, maybe now it's, yeah, too less. So let's add 30. But yeah, it's, of course, you can do what you prefer. Yeah, I prefer it like this. So now let me slide down. Yeah, you see, we go away here. The bottom sheet goes away also. So on the emulators, it's a little bit tricky to do these swipe downs, but it works on the mobiles. So now I also don't like the fact that these components are immediately below these and here also. So what we can do is let's go to let's go to the handler. We have the handler wrapper. So on the handler wrapper, you can say, let's give it some margin bottom. You could say like, let's give it 16. Then you get a bit more of room, even though I think probably you could still give it a little bit more. Yeah, now I think it's better. And of course, probably also the children. So after the children are there, like let's give it a margin bottom on the children of 32. So then we are kind of centering the content, so the components that we put here, some placeholders. So now you are doing some, you are centering it. So you have the handler, the nice one. So you can, again, slide it. If I do on the mobile, I think it's much easier. Yeah, completely much easier. So I just slide down. And yeah, that's it. You have your... oh, by the way, just one note. I think you should, of course, in your app, this is not nice, right? You can, like this one is, you can have one view that you always load in all your screens, and then you put these stuff there. So everything that is common to your screens and that you need to set up, then you can put that there and have some state, Redux, or whatever you prefer, to toggle these overlays so that anywhere from the anywhere in the app you can just say, okay, put some overlay on top of the screen, and now I show my bottom sheet, or I show my dialogue, or whatever you want to show. But yeah, for now it's just a way to check and tell you how you can leverage Modal, which already gives you some nice animations to do a bottom sheet, which also slides up and down. Cool. Now you have a bottom sheet which is simple to do and gets the job done. So you can use it in an MVP or in a first release of an app, because of course you can always change it in the future with a more fancy one. Feel free to share your thoughts and questions in the comments down below. Till next time, keep in the loop.